Hi and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it has been so flipping long since I sat down and did like a proper sit down chatty kind of video. Literally I can't even remember the last time. I think it might have been Christmas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Christmas. It's just not good. But I'm back today with a sort of different kind of video than what I usually do. It's one I've been planning to do for a while and literally have just not got around to it because pretty much I keep forgetting. But yeah, I'm here now and I'm about to show you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures. It is one that has actually been quite highly requested. Not really as a video, I just get a lot of questions about how I edit my pictures and what apps do I use and stuff like that. So I thought today I would run through everything I do to edit my Instagram pictures and show you guys on here. So yeah, keep watching to see what I do and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to head down below and give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe as well to see more content from me. There should be a good bit more as I'm now off on summer and I have lots of fun video days to come. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy it and I will see you in a minute. 2, 3, funk it! My darling, I love you, 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 I love you. So I'm just going to pop my Instagram up here on the screen to show you sort of what my feed is like. If you don't already follow me, you should head over there now and follow me at Shan McQuillan. I post a lot of travel content, a little bit of fashion in there as well. That's mostly what I do on my Instagram and I'm not overly fussy about like a theme or anything like that. I just sort of go with like what I like. All of my pictures are edited in like a similar way, but I'm not too worried about them all matching, if that makes sense. Like I like them to all look like sort of nice beside each other, but I'm not one of these people who's like a whole white thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I've done that before and I just found it a bit too restrictive because I'd rather share what I love rather than having it like all fit into a theme, if that makes sense. So yeah, without any more rambling, I've literally rambled for about 3 minutes straight and that is so unlike me. But yeah, without any more rambling, I will just get into showing you how I edit my pictures. So I'm just going to show you what apps I use to edit my pictures. Literally, actually, the only app I use at the minute is Adobe Lightroom. That is how I edit all of my pictures and I have like a preset that I've made that sort of runs through my pictures and then I edit them how it sort of suits, if that makes sense. So I've just made a folder here, as you'll see on screen, of a few photos that I recently put up on my Instagram and how I've edited them. So I've just made a new wee folder so I can run through a few of them and show you how I edited them, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to click into this one first. This photo was taken down in Dublin when I think me and Adam went for brunch in the Ivy. It is such a photogenic place. But anyway, that's not what you're here for. You're here to find out how I edited the picture. So what you're seeing on screen right now is the photo as it is on my Instagram. Actually, it's a little more cropped to my Instagram because Instagram photos aren't full length. But this photo is currently on my Instagram and I'm just going to click on it here. So that's what it was like before. And now this is what it's like as it's edited. And yeah. So I'm just going to run through all my like settings on this one to show you what I did. So first of all, I go into light. This isn't exactly how I do it because I have the preset saved, but these are all the settings that are on the preset anyway, if that makes sense. So first of all, I've gone into light and I've just turned the exposure up to 0.79. So that's literally just a tiny little bit of difference, as you can see. So that's it without the exposure. And then this is it now with the exposure at 0.79 where I had it. It just brightens the photo up a bit, makes it look a bit fresher and yeah, especially because as you can see, like before, it was a little bit dark, the shadows weren't great, so lightening it up just made it look that little bit better and brings it to life a little bit more. So the next one down is the contrast, and if I bring the contrast to 0, you can see like nothing really pops as much in the photo. So I just had that up about halfway at 42. So yeah, just makes everything a bit more defined and sort of brings the darks down a bit and the lights up a bit as a contrast. So next up I have highlights, which I've brought down to -36. Highlights and shadows are two things that change depending on every photo, just because you can't really judge on the lighting. Yeah, like it just depends on the lighting in the photo. So I've got the highlights down here at -36. If I bring them up, you can just see like my skin sort of looks, I don't know, it just like brings a bit more definition to my skin, makes me look a little bit more tan. I think that was at -32. So yeah, that's down there. And then the shadows, I've brought the shadows up in this one because of the background. I wanted like the flowers in the background to look a bit more red, and obviously they've sort of dulled out a bit when I took the photo, so I brought that up to 52. So you can see the colours in the background just a little bit better. The next one up is the whites, and I've brought that way down to -80. If I bring that up, that like is highly affected by the exposure. It basically, like the photo looks overexposed like that. My face, like you can see a lot of flashback on my face, but bringing the whites down just brings a little bit more colour back into the photo when you've brought the exposure up. And then finally the blacks I've brought down to -31. So to be honest, they haven't really made a massive difference in this photo. As you can see, bringing them up, again, overexposes the photo. Bringing them down, underexposes the photo. Makes it really dark. Anyway, so I had that at -32, which, yeah, just brings a bit more definition to the photo again. So yeah, that's everything in light that I've done. Then I'll move on to colour. I leave the temperature as it is. I've brought the tint up a bit to +14. That is literally just because of all the pinks and reds in the photo, and I just wanted to bring them out a little bit more. Vibrance, I've brought that up because, as you can see, it just makes the photo like pop a little bit more. I can't remember where it was. I'll leave it about there, it doesn't really matter anyway. And then the saturation I've brought down to -16 because I feel like saturation has made me look really orange as I've brought that up. So yeah, like I like to look tan in my photos, but not orange. So yeah, I'll go into this wee thing at the top. It says, it's like a colour wheel, and it says mix, and I just run through the different colours depending again on the photo. I just play around with the colours a little bit. So on this one I've brought the hue, so this is on the red, I've brought the hue down to -12. It's literally brings out the pinks a little bit more on my shirt. As you can see there, if I bring it up, it all turns very yellow. Bring it down, it turns very red. So yes, that is what I've done there. Saturation, again, because there's a lot of red in this photo, I wanted to really make them pop. As you can see, I bring it up to 100 and it looks way overdone, as you can see, but you kind of get the idea that the red then is saturated. So yeah, it just makes the reds pop a little bit better in the photo. And then the luminance basically just puts the light in the colour, and I wanted to bring it a little bit down so the colours weren't overexposed on the red. So the orange, this kind of affects my skin and my hair quite a lot because obviously my hair is blonde. Sometimes there can be like orangey tones in a picture on my hair. Then obviously my skin and my makeup, there's orangey tones in my face. So yeah, this kind of affects that a lot. I don't really know why I've changed the hue. I feel like that might have been an accident. I actually quite like it lower down on this one because it brings like a pinkier hue to my face. And then as you can see, I look a lot more pale when I bring the saturation down, so bringing the saturation up just brings a little bit of colour to your skin, which I really like. And then the luminance again, if you bring that up, you genuinely look like a ghost. So yeah, I had that down at -21, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So next, the yellows. I like my hair in pictures to look as white as possible. Like, I really don't like it when my hair looks really brassy and stuff in photos. Like, yeah, just depending on the light, it can really affect my hair colour, which kind of annoys me. But anyway, so I bring the hue down because I don't want to, if I turn it up it'll turn green, as you can see. So I bring the hue down to make it quite soft. And then if I turn the saturation up, you actually can't see it that well in this picture. But in a lot of pictures my hair goes very, very yellow if I have the saturation up. So I've turned it way down on this one, and I've turned, yeah, you can see it actually quite a lot more. If I turn the luminance down, my hair just goes a bit dull. So turning the luminance up just brightens it up a bit and makes it look a bit brighter. Greens again, as you can see in the plants up in the top right corner there, they're very kind of like musky, is that the right word? I don't know, like dusty, like dull green colour. Whereas if I bring the saturation up, it gives them like a much brighter tone, and like I don't really want them emphasized that much in the photo. Like, I know I said I don't really have a theme on my Instagram, but like I like how the greens like sort of are quite faded. So yeah, that's basically the closest thing I'll have to like a theme on my Instagram. So yeah, I'll make sure to turn the saturation down in the greens. To be honest, the hue works either way, but on this one I've just turned it down, and then I've left the luminance at 0. On this one I've brought the hue, this is like the light sort of blue colour I'm on now, so I've brought the hue down. To be honest, it doesn't make that much of a difference on this photo. This is obviously just what I've had in my preset, and because it hasn't really affected this picture I haven't bothered to change it. So yeah, then I've brought the saturation of this blue up, which again doesn't really matter on this picture. And then I've left the purple and pink as they are. Then finally I go into detail and just sharpen the picture up, because again it just brings a little bit more detail to the picture. So yeah, that is how I edited that picture. There's the before and there's the after. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. So yeah. Okay, so the next photo I'm going to show you is this one here. As you can see, there's a lot more blues in this picture. There isn't as much of like me in it. So this would be like pretty typical of like a travel picture for me. A lot of blue colours, and then as you can see there are a lot of greens as well. So again, this is the before and then this is the after. So yeah, you can see the blues are much brighter and more colourful on the after, and the greens as well have been dulled down quite a lot. And then you can also like see that I've sort of brightened myself up a little bit, which like makes me more noticeable in the picture, if that makes sense. So this is going to be pretty similar to the last one, because as I said, I just have a preset, so that's my default, and then that's how I changed it. So literally barely changed it at all for this one. So yeah, I'm just going to go into light, and as you can see I've turned the exposure up to plus 7.9. Again, if I bring it down it just dulls the photo, like that's at 0, so it doesn't look great like that. So yeah, I just brought the exposure up the tiniest little bit and it made such a massive big difference on this picture. The contrast as well I've brought up to plus 42, so yeah, that sort of like brought a bit more definition of the clouds and stuff, sort of emphasised me a little bit more rather than the background. Highlights I've turned down to minus 36. Again, doesn't make a massive difference in this picture. As you can see, it makes a difference to the sky. It makes the sky a lot more blue when I've brought them down, and then overexposes the sky basically if you turn them up. So that is why I have that so far down in that picture. Shadows, again, just brightens me. The foreground obviously was a lot duller than the background in this picture because of the way the light was coming, so I've turned the shadows up to just emphasise the foreground and myself a little bit more. Then whites I've brought down to 80, which is exactly the same as the last picture, just brings a little bit more definition. Oh sorry, that's the blacks. I always click on the wrong one. So the blacks, yeah, when I've got the blacks turned up it's overexposed, and when I've got them turned down it just brings a little bit more definition to the picture, and contrast as well. So the whites now, yes, as I turn the whites up it's obviously very overexposed, so turning them down brings a lot more colour into the picture and just gives it a little bit more life. Then colour, again, temperature left as it is, tint plus 14. I don't think it'll make, oh it actually has made quite a bit of difference in this picture, I didn't expect that, but okay. So yeah, it just brings a little bit of like a pinky tone to the buildings and stuff, as you can see in the background. And yeah, just makes the photo, gives the photo like a dreamy sort of look, if that makes sense, like a very sort of subtle thing, but does actually make quite a lot of a difference. Then the vibrance, again, as I turn it down you can see the colours just aren't as bright and vibrant. So yeah, and then saturation, again, I've turned down to minus 16 just because I don't overly like turning the saturation up, because I don't like the way it affects the colour. I prefer to use the vibrance. Now I'm just going to move on to the mix, and I've turned the reds up to plus 32. To be honest, I don't really know why I've done that in this picture, but okay. I've turned the saturation down. I think, to be honest, I can't even, yeah, I don't really know why. I can't really tell much of a difference. Oranges I've left as they are. Then as you can see here, I've turned the hue down on the yellow, and the saturation, as you can see in the plants there, it takes the yellow out of the plants. It doesn't really affect my hair too much because I feel like there's quite a lot of like shadows on my hair here, so it doesn't really make all that much of a difference. And then the luminance, again, yeah, it just dulls down those plants a little bit. Greens, I've turned way down. As you can see, it affects the plants a lot, and I like them to sort of fade into the background because they aren't really a focus in the picture. Like, you can see they're there, but they aren't like a main draw of the picture. And the hue as well. It doesn't really make much of a difference when the saturation's so turned down, but yeah. The blues, I've turned the hue down to like a greenish hue for the light blue. I think this is mostly for the bridge rather than the sky, just because it's like a yellowy sort of tone blue. But as I turn the saturation down, the colour in the bridge just goes a little duller, so it draws her out of the bridge a little bit more. And then the dark blue, I've just turned the saturation up, obviously for the sky. I could turn it way up, but I think that just looks a little bit too fake. So I've put it around 68, so the sky's still bright, but it's not fake. So yeah, the pinks, or the purples I've left as they are, and the pinks I've left as they are as well. So yeah, that is how I edit my Instagram pictures. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit down below and give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to see more. If you have any questions about Instagram or anything like that, make sure to leave those down in the comments below as well, and I will be happy to answer them. And yeah, I think that's everything for this video, and I will see you guys on Sunday for a brand new video. So thank you. Bye.